Hello and welcome back to the Bring a Mit podcast. It's me, Henry, again.
Me, Tom.
And me, Rory.
Nice. Well, this one is a this one is a bit of.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. This is a bit of an interactive episode. So if you actually want to take part in this, it doesn't matter if you don't really want to, and if you just want to listen. But if you actually want to take part in this will be the sort of thing you kind of save for an afternoon on Saturday or something like that. Because what we're going to be doing is we tried to find a whodunit kind of film, like a murder mystery kind of film. But I don't know if this is a whodunit. It's one of those sort of BuzzFeed lists where you're not sure how accurate they are. But we think this is a murder mystery, like whodunit stuff thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch the trailer and we're going to kind of predict who we reckon the killer is, or who we reckon's a bit dodgy. And then, like, for the first half an hour of the film, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of try and predict what's going to happen, and everyone at home. Well, whoever at home is listening to this can take part in the process with us. But before we get into that, what's everyone been doing this week? You might be watching something.
What in terms of what? I mean, like I've been watching a lot of Umbrella Academy, but I've also been at work a lot of the time.
Yeah, we've done.
It's been a ram-packed week, not work.
Umbrella Academy is probably the more relevant thing to talk about.
Yeah, probably better than Home Bargains, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Home Bargains.
Tom, careful.
I agree, Tom. I'm 6 episodes into it, the second season. I watched the first season ages ago.
Enjoying it?
But I love it. I really like this one. I think this season's better.
Yeah, I agree. I finished it, but
the setting like doubles it up as well. I feel like it adds another level to it. There was some boring bits in the first season.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they ironed out a lot of the problems they had with making it interesting.
What are you watching, Tom?
The soundtrack especially.
Oh yeah. Soundtrack has been brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, so go on, Tom.
Well, Henry, I know one thing you can relate to. Well, I've recently started watching Haunted of Hill House. Only taken me 2 years.
It's actually been 2 years. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it came out 2 years ago, Halloween.
That is crazy.
I mean, it's just incredible. Rory, have you seen it before?
Yeah, I watched it when it came out. It's really good.
You've started watching it as well, Henry Beat, so you know. But it's a very nice slow burner. Like, it takes its time with the tension and the scares, and it's something you can't really do with a horror film. So I'm really enjoying it.
I think we should do something on this.
Oh.
Go on, carry on.
I was going to just say I liked how each episode sort of focused on a different character. It felt like really Game of Thronesy.
Yeah.
It was a good system.
Have there been many?
And the way the timelines work is just really good. Even if it wasn't a horror, it'd just be a really good show.
Have there been many horror series around? Like an actual series of like episodes of horror? Has that happened before?
American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, okay, but not real horror, like out and out horror.
The first season of American Horror Story is quite just horror, and then
there's scary bits in all of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I stopped watching midway through season 2. I didn't like it.
I'm talking more classical horror though. I think this is kind of revolutionary for it, I'd say. But anyway,
I can't think of any.
But right, so what we are going to do, we've got the trailer prepped up, but what we're going to do is pause it, and then you can listen to the trailer or watch the trailer as well. But we are going to watch the Agatha and the Truth of Murder trailer movie coverage, if that's the right one. It's 2 minutes and 21 seconds on YouTube, if you want to watch it. But we're going to watch it now, and then we're going to have a little talk about it. So, right, so we'll put you on pause. We'll put some elevator music in the background. But right, back in a sec.
Bye.
Right, we're back after watching the trailer. I don't know what you guys thought of it. I thought it was a bit, actually a little bit ambiguous. I didn't really. There seemed to be two sort of leading figures in that. I don't know what you two thought.
Well, I think it was aiming to be a bit ambiguous. It doesn't want to give everything away, does it?
Oh
Gave
yeah, I
us a
suppose.
nice-
Yeah, I suppose so.
Gave us a nice basis, I think.
Yeah.
When you say leading figures for the killer, I assume you mean not as in
No,
the
I
leaders,
actually
the
mean
leading
like
actors.
because there was a clear like detective figure there. Well, for anyone who didn't watch
Yeah,
that
the
trailer,
detective
there was like a sort of
Yeah.
a big sort of authoritative detective, and then there was sort of like an undercover, who I assume is Agatha. And
Yeah, well, it said at the start, didn't it?
Yeah,
Although-
it's Agatha Christie trying to solve a real life murder. Apparently, it actually happened.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The main thing I took away from that trailer is that the detective was called Detective Dix.
yeah, I remember thinking that's. I mean, surely they're gonna joke about that at some point.
Probably.
But
He did seem like a bit of a dick as well, didn't
This
he?
this guy's a detective dick.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
gonna be Neil's character saying it, I reckon.
it was it was a bit similar.
From Dicks.
If either of you have watched Knives Out, it had that kind of the same little thing where it was like you had the sort of the very very innocent sounding character. You thought, oh, there's no way they could have done it, and then you had like the sort of the loudmouth one that leans back and like smokes and all that.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
I thought
it's like the stereotypical characters in a whodunit, like the Clue film that was. I don't remember if it was based off of the game or the game was based off of the film, but whichever way, the Cluedo one. It's like one of the classic stereotypes.
I do hope it's not really obvious, and it just comes out
I-
as what's his face being it, Neil from In Between Us.
Yeah, I have a prediction
go on.
from that trailer. I think it's the ginger girl that was crying.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't remember any of their names, and I barely remember with their characters. But she was crying, and I was like, she's trying too hard to make it seem like it wasn't her. So I think it's her.
I don't even remember the girl crying, to be honest. So
That might not even be in context, Tom.
she might.
Maybe she's just-
yeah, I don't know.
She's like hit her leg or something.
Yeah, well, you should
Well-
stub her toe, Tom.
Can you just leave her alone, please?
I don't know what she did, Tom.
We're here to make our predictions. That's my prediction.
I'm not going to make a prediction because that was like that hid everything. That didn't give us any clues. I don't think. I don't think that
What was
trailer
the
gave us any
point
clues.
watching the damn trailer then?
Well, because just in case there was a few little bits of
Just
trailer.
I feel like this guy did.
I saw a man who looked quite ominous with a chiseled jawline at one moment in a frame in there. I think he's
Ooh.
done it.
Chiseled jawline.
Not
He
many
had a
people.
really chiseled jawline.
Not many people with sharp features aren't murderers. To be fair,
Exactly.
That is true.
me and Rory know that very well. Wink, wink.
We
Inside
should, be,
joke.
we should be detectives.
Well, let's see if we got it right first, and then we'll declare ourselves detectives.
Yeah,
no
fair
more
enough, fair
podcasts if we become detectives.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is like a real life Cluedo, I guess. It's like we're actually
Oh, yeah.
like a little board game.
It's almost as if someone said that earlier.
I thought you. Okay, no, I wasn't referring.
Oh, he's taking you back to school, Henry.
I wasn't referring to the film. I was referring to this
Get your
activity.
pencil case out.
I was referring to our activity. But
Oh.
yeah, exactly. Because
Oh.
you know we're
Fair enough.
looking around
No,
for
he's
murder
taking
weapons.
you back to school there, Tom.
We're the
Yeah.
detectives.
Now we're both okay. This is kind of thistling out a little bit. Shall we just should we just watch the film,
I think we should.
Yeah, all right.
or is there
That's
any
a cracking idea.
any more points before we get going?
We. No, I'm calm.
No more points. No more points.
we.
Great. So we'll see you in about how long is this film? Hang on a sec.
Well, we'll see them in a couple of seconds, but
Yeah,
how's
and
it
a half.
be an
I
hour
was
and a
gonna
half?
make that joke, Tom. God. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
you should have got there quicker then.
Right, hour and a half, but it'll just be just a blip for you because of the magic of editing. Thanks, Tom. Right, back in a bit. And we're back. Just watched the film. Well, first of all, good film.
It was all right.
I enjoyed it. Wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good watch.
I was thinking it was good, and then I kind of thought near the end that I wasn't as gripped as I have been in similar things.
Yeah.
I
The
got a
ending
bit
did
bored.
lose. Yeah, the ending lost me a bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got a
like-
bit bored.
if you compare it to things like, I've said Knives Out before, but Knives Out and like whodunits, where it's like, I don't know, a bit more explosive. It's just it wasn't really in that same mould, was it?
Yeah, well, like I understand that's what they were trying to do. Like, it's the truth of murder, and they said at the end, like, it's not as interesting as her stories, but like, yeah, that's it. It's not as interesting.
Sounds like a cop
Yeah,
out.
why would you make something less interesting then?
Yeah, it's just like I understand that's what they were trying to do, but I would rather watch one that's a bit complicated and wacky.
So, if we go back to our initial predictions, Rory, what did you say? Because I can't remember your one.
I said that the Chiseled Man did it, and the Chiseled Man did it.
Man.
The Chiseled Man.
Sounds like a horror film.
I saw him in the trailer looking ominous and with this great jawline. I was like, that's it.
You know
That is him.
You know what? You know when they showed the murder and it was clearly a man. You know, it was clearly a man.
Well, that's just sort of ruined it.
And it wasn't an old man. Like, you could clearly see it wasn't an old man. You're like, there's not really many options here. Unless they done some like mad twist, there's not really many options here.
I don't know why.
that was
Neither of you managed to get it though. It's
was-
very
Well,
odd.
no,
Well,
because
I thought that was like a red herring.
yeah, same,
And I was like,
same.
Why would they? Like, they were like, oh, okay, well, it's going to be two people then.
But could you imagine, right? Okay, think of it another way. Could you imagine if it was the Daphne, the ginger girl? Could you imagine if it was Daphne and at the start they showed a murder and then a flash of ginger hair go across the screen and then it turned out to be Daphne?
Wow, I wonder who it was.
I think you'd be like, people would forgive you for saying, yeah, that's probably a red herring. A red herring.
Yeah.
I actually just thought of that. Right. Anyway, no, but me and Tom both got it wrong.
Yeah.
Do I get a prize?
Well,
No, you don't. But the thing is,
that's
right,
out of order.
shut up.
well, to be fair, the person I said did kill someone.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no, it
but-
doesn't count though.
Just
Doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't
Well.
count.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, I was thinking during the film, it was like a seesaw. I was thinking, oh, maybe Tom might be right. That would be rubbish. I don't want that to happen. But then I thought, oh, it might.
Thanks, mate.
But then I thought, oh, it might be me. And then it was just like, oh no, it's definitely not. I definitely didn't get it right. It was
And
just,
then Rory comes running in at the last minute, knee sliding.
but
Oh, the truth of murder.
You changed your mind like 3 times. That doesn't count.
Yeah, put the evidence in the podcast,
But we
mate.
should probably say what we
well.
predicted. We should probably say what we I predicted that it was the old woman who, for people who obviously
Mabel.
Yeah, Mabel. For the people who didn't sort of watch the film with us, which is probably the majority, but the people who didn't watch the film, Mabel was the person who came to try and get Agatha to solve the murder. Like, she was the sort of the damsel in distress at the start.
She was.
And she was
She
also
was the partner of
yeah.
the murdery.
She was the partner of
Victim.
Florence
Murderer.
Nightingale, who was the murdered person. And
But
so
not
I
the
thought,
Florence Nightingale.
Was that her name?
Yeah, Florence
Yeah,
Nightingale.
it was. She was related to Florence Nightingale, but she wasn't the Florence Nightingale.
Oh, right, okay.
This film was just like, oh, let's put as many famous names in it as we can.
but I remember thinking, I didn't really put much logic behind it other than I'm going straight for her, and then because it was just controversial, and then but the thing is, then she said that line that was in the trailer as well. It was like, unless you think it was me. It was like,
Yeah.
and you never know what kind of level of IQ this film is going to take you. That you don't know whether it's going to be a
Yeah.
bluff or a double bluff or a triple bluff. You don't know how clever it's going to
It
be
would-
until the end.
It would have just been insanely stupid of her. Like, it'd been 6 years since the murder, and no one was looking into it anymore other than her. It would have been insanely stupid if she was the murderer to
Yeah,
then
that opened
hire
up.
someone to look into it.
Yeah, everyone's just shut
Yeah.
up about it, and she's just like, God, you just need to make absolutely sure by being all
Yeah.
upset about it. But yeah, Tom gets
I was
Daphne.
definitely on the Mabel train with you for a bit.
Mm.
I'll give you
I
that.
was as well. For a little bit at the end once Daphne had been cleared.
But you know, Daphne was like the classic sort of, you know, the weepy girl in the trailer. Like no one suspects her. Like, say if you'd never watched like a whodunit before, you'd always think, you'd think it was that bowl guy, wouldn't you? The old bowl guy. I've forgotten his name. Was it Randolph?
Yeah. Randolph, yeah.
Randolph.
He was the cousin, and he was like the big authoritarian, you know, like. I think most people watching this for the first time will be like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely in," and then the people who had watched one but weren't very experienced would be like, "Oh yeah, it's the crying girl." You're like Tom actually, but no, I didn't think that through a whole lot actually, but no, it's just weird because I still don't actually get the motivations for the chiseled guy.
Yeah.
They didn't really explain it very well.
He sort of said that she was like sanctimonious or something. I think it's because she was like a nurse that like helped heal foreign soldiers and stuff. Maybe she healed some Germans.
And he was a
in the
massive
army.
racist.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think. I mean, if it's Germans in the war, I don't think it's necessarily racism the defining factor there.
Well.
Oh, I don't want my enemy to be. I don't want my enemy to be cured by nurses on my side. Racist! How dare you?
Henry was on the side of the chiseled man. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
We've got that. We've got that.
Henry agreed with him.
He has vocalised it.
Also, one thing that I wasn't a real big fan of. Like usually, I know it's the truth of murder or whatever. But usually in those films, you get a nice like speech at the end from the detective, putting everything together, being like, "This is it," and you're like, "Oh my god." When she did it was just like, "We found boots. You did it."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, that's so complicated. How did you figure that out?
It wasn't very like dynamic, was it?
Yeah.
How it all was figured out. And again, yeah, truth for murder.
We
I
didn't
put my hands up there.
We didn't learn
Also,
much about him.
it was a TV movie. We shouldn't have expected much.
Was it a TV movie?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
it says it. Yeah.
We didn't really get much from that. Those two people, I think they were like the only two people that you like. Nothing was ever thrown in. Like,
Yeah.
like there was never any like suspicious stuff getting thrown out. It was just like they were just people sat at the table quietly eating.
Yeah, they barely said anything. Mum must have said like 3 lines before, and the son, all he did was shout angry words at the Frenchman.
She sort of kept telling him to like calm down, like to not give stuff away. To be fair, throughout the film, I noticed that.
Should have picked up on that.
I guess they were all doing that a little bit though, weren't they? Because they were like they all had like a little something to. No, actually no, it wasn't all of them, but it was that guy who what was the guy who died that caused the massive rift in the whole story? There's 2 murders now. Wade was all secretive, wasn't he? But he was kind of secret. If my memory serves me, like he was a bit secretive for like no reason though, wasn't he? Like he was a bit secretive. Okay, fine.
Well, he did have his secrets.
Yeah, but he was like it wasn't a secret because he beat Daphne, didn't he? But like it wasn't a secret. It wasn't a secret for himself. It was like a secret between them. That's how he was acting when they got interviewed. But I can't really work out why, because he was clear because he went to America or something, wasn't he?
Well, he must have just been must have been a little bit worried that his abusive past might have been brought up. Especially when there's a detective. Oh no, wait, the detective didn't get there till after he died. Actually, yeah, I don't really know why.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted the money.
Also, I don't know why they sent 5,000. Was it 5,000 officers to find this one author? That's weird.
Well, she was a big name. That's awesome. I did like that. I did like that the film's plot was based around something that actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Her 11-day disappearance and no one knows why. I like that it was like, this is why.
So how much of this is us slagging off the film, and how much of it is us just slagging off how they did things in the early like 1900s?
Well, they did say at the end that none of this had been authorised, and this is all like a fictional retelling of it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it might not have been 5,000 people looking for one author. That might have been an ego thing.
Yeah.
5,000 people looking for
her ego.
Yeah. You wouldn't send 5,000 police after one little author, even if she was a big famous author. If you didn't have enough to arrest a bunch of murder suspects, you probably overcommitted.
Henry, I'm gonna do some research for you here to check if that was true. It's come up on Wikipedia. 15,000 volunteers, more than 1,000 police officers, and several aeroplanes searched the rural landscape.
Aeroplanes?
Yeah.
That's really odd. She's only an author.
Yeah.
I suppose they were more important back in the day. Now no one
exactly.
reads now.
I think Poirot.
She was
stuff
like one
that
of the most famous.
Was
like,
huge, yeah.
Yeah, like in the world probably.
Yeah.
And according to that bookshop owner, she was better than Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, I remember thinking, oh blimey, because
That was a nice little ego boost for her.
I hadn't really heard of Agatha Christie before this. So obviously, I've heard of Arthur Conan Doyle.
Really?
I hadn't.
You must, like
familiar.
Poirot,
It's familiar.
Murder on the Orient Express.
No, it's just familiar. That's all. Nothing like I don't know. I didn't know what she did. I knew. To be fair, half the reason I might have known Arthur Conan Doyle was because I went to Portsmouth and he was in Fareham. I think that was where he was brought up, which is also where Sherlock, the character, was brought up.
That's bloody crazy.
Yeah, it is a bit. It's
Wow.
a bit
What a coincidence.
Yes, yeah, it's a bit mental. I remember thinking at the start as well, like the whole thing with her husband. I remember, I felt a bit bad for her, you know.
That was a bit of a weird. I assume it was based on reality, that bit, and that's why they included it.
The start was a bit slow, wasn't it? I felt like they took a while to get going into what was happening.
Because we set
It
ourselves
wasn't a
target.
very long film as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think. Well, I mean, based on what happened, I don't think it needed to be any longer. But at the same time,
Well, yeah.
we set ourselves like a half an hour. Like you're not allowed to make any predictions past the half an hour point. But the lady got off the
Up
train.
until the last 10 minutes.
But the lady got off the train. Agatha and the other woman I've forgotten still. Mabel. Yeah, they got off the train after 20 minutes. So we couldn't possibly give up all the predictions.
For context, them getting off the train was basically the start of the investigation.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
They got off the train at 20 minutes. How the hell are they going to do that?
Yeah, no. Basically.
There was 15 minutes about her just like deciding whether or not she was going to design a golf course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then basically just for plot's sake, she went undercover as someone who was like deciding the will or something, or like doing some investigation just so they could sort out like a will of some made up character, just so they could bring all the suspects together. So basically, all the two people investigating were like undercover, basically. But it was a bit confusing. I've got to admit, this was kind of confusing in quite a few regards. I found.
I don't understand why she wouldn't just go for like a private investigator than an author who writes books.
Yeah.
That they make very clear throughout the film the books are nothing like real life, and yet she still figures it out.
I don't know.
You know, the more we talk about it, the more I dislike the film.
Yeah, I think that there's always a danger of that, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
I suppose if you've got an imagination that can make up these murder investigations and stuff, it would make sense that you'd have some sort of idea in real life, or at least. Yeah.
I did like that. Like they were talking, and she was like she was admitting that she was looking for this massive, complicated story, and then she just went down to the basics and was like, "They're the only ones that could have done it." And she was trying to fight her own creative, imaginative brain. She had to, in the end, just be like, "It's if you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras."
That's a good line actually. But
thanks, mate.
The funny thing is, when she changed her mind, like she was convicted of who she thought done it about 3 times. Was it like it was definitely this guy? He's like, and then he died. He's like, oh, I won't make the same mistake again.
Not.
It was definitely this person. And then
his daughter.
And then with her third guess, she went in the room and just flat out accused him without any back. Well, I suppose she did have backup because they were in the next room. I think that's probably part of the plan.
Yeah.
That's what she should have done from the start. Just put them all in their rooms and go into everyone and just accuse them and see if they break.
Well, like in the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
You're responsible for the murder.
That's a great accent.
Well, to be fair, that was not a French accent, listeners. That was an impression of Steve Martin's French accent in the Pink Panther, the remake. I kind of recommend that film, but I think I watched it recently and it wasn't.
We should have done that film.
Yeah, but I've watched it, so. It took us a
Yeah, I
long
watched it as well.
It took us a long time to find a whodunit film that no one had watched and that was on Netflix
Yeah.
still.
We should have done Zodiac, and I would have just said I hadn't seen it before, and then blown you away with all my guesses.
But we don't lie to our listeners. That's not in our ethos.
Bloody long film as well.
That's not us.
Yeah, we don't do
That's
that.
not me.
That's
not me.
You don't want to reveal your poor intentions to our listeners, Tom. To our many, many listeners.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you for
We love
sticking
you,
with
bring him in, listeners. We do.
us. Okay.
I was hoping one of you would carry on with that.
The trouble is, there's a problem with syllables there because you can't say, "Oh, bring him in, listeners. We love you."
We should put that bit in the trailer.
Well,
We love you, bring him in, listeners.
we'll probably keep trying with the trailer because it wasn't the best. It was quite funny, but it wasn't the best trailer. Like no one listens to that and thinks, "Wow, what a podcast!" this is
Wow,
probably
we
gonna
need
be."
to listen to this.
I highly recommend everyone watches the trailer because it's quite funny.
Isn't it only on
It
Anchor?
is funny.
No, it's on Spotify as well. I think it just comes up like an episode, but with a big space between the two of them.
Well,
But
we've gone very off topic.
yeah, but we're on the 26-minute mark, so this is I didn't think this would be our shortest episode because it took us the longest amount of time. But
Is that
Yeah.
26 minutes just for this part, or is that overall?
overall because it's all stacking.
Oh, bloody hell!
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have.
That's fine.
That's fine. You're gonna have a good time listening to this one, then, Henry.
Oh yeah, it's my
Yeah,
turn.
enjoy
isn't
this
it?
one, H.
Yeah, gotta listen to this one through. Make sure there's no errors. Make sure Rory hasn't said the C word or anything that's going to take me 20 minutes to rectify.
Not the C word.
The C-
Oh, I could line it up. Boys. I feel it on my tongue.
You shouldn't have said that, Henry.
I'll just cut it.
See?
I'll just cut it.
You.
No.
Next Tuesday.
Thank you for coming to the Bring It podcast. Bye.